Let's go, y'all. Welcome back to Unreal Reality, guys. This week I got creepy TikToks that'll make you rethink reality part 8. Please leave a like so this video is recommended to others, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button so you never miss a video from us again. With that out of the way, let's jump right into it, y'all.
In other corrupt news, over 300 Boeing planes used by United and American Airlines have been found to have fatal faults that could cause jets to potentially explode mid-air. Please, please, please be very careful about the plane you are getting on. It may not be safe. Thanks for watching and stay weird.
I don't even know how Boeing is still operating as a company, guys. If you are actively choosing to fly on a Boeing aircraft, you are basically playing Russian roulette with your life, guys.
People are freaking out after 9 pillars of light were seen in the sky above a coastal town in Japan recently. And it wasn't just one picture. These 9 lights were seen from multiple different angles. So, what the hell is that? Well, the man who originally posted the photo said that it's actually a rare natural phenomenon called fishing firelight pillars. And he said that it's caused by powerful lights placed on fishing boats to attract larger catches. As temperatures cool overnight, crystals sometimes form in the air, and then the boat's lights reflect off of the crystals, creating this. It's never just as simple as aliens, is it?
This is so far away from what I was cooking up in my head. Fishermen are a different breed, guys. They will stop at nothing in the name of catching some fish.
Menu Gate, have you heard of that?
Menu Gate?
This man, his name is Cody, lives in Atlanta. He walked out of his apartment one day and noticed every single door in his hallway had a Chinese menu in the doorway. 3 days later, still there in every doorway.
All of them.
And he's like, what in the world? It's like 3 days, everyone in my hall has not opened their door. And then it was like 5 days, still there. And he's like, this is weird. So he went down to the parking garage and looked at the cars. And the majority of the cars in the parking garage were covered in dust. And he's like, that's weird. And then he's like, okay, this is like freaking me out a little bit. Went through his whole apartment building, couldn't find a fire alarm. Finally, like went down like one weird hallway or whatever, found one, pulls it. And supposedly there's supposed to be 800 people living in this apartment building. No one came out. He went out into his local little nook where his apartment was, and every like coffee shop and place that he went to, there was always one man in there wearing a suit talking on the phone. He said these men were all saying the same thing into the phone. And he's just like, am I living in a simulation? What is this?
Imagine if the Chinese spot was just screwing with him the whole time, and the whole thing was just this one big elaborate prank on this poor putz.
I was forced to stay awake for 30 days straight. They called it the Russian sleep experiment. They put 5 of us into a room and released the gas that made it impossible to sleep. We were all captured, war prisoners. They were studying us to see what would happen to a human if they stayed awake for 30 days. Day 1, everything was fine. We were promised freedom after we completed the experiment, but as days went by, our conversations grew darker. Paranoia took hold, mentally destroying us on day 9. One of us started screaming uncontrollably until his vocal cords gave out the rest of us, smeared our own feces over the glass, so they couldn't see us on the 16th day. They needed to know what was happening. They turned off the gas and opened the doors. They were not ready for the horrific scene that was awaiting them, flesh-torn. We consumed our own bodies, desperate to stay awake. We didn't want to leave anymore. We begged for the gas to be turned back on, but they refused to help us. Somehow we had survived all this, but we knew it would be the end if we fell asleep. Remember us. Remember our torment.
I have no idea, guys. Highly disturbing. Post them up in the comments, though. What in the world do you think we just watched, guys? Talk about a speedy delivery. You gonna take off? Oh no, he's gonna take off. what's worse, guys. I don't know if it's worse that he macked him or that he macked him and dipped.
I assure you, this is not normal water. If these people on this boat saw what exists over in this area, they would not be able to comprehend what they had just seen. And after speaking to people who have sailed over in this region, I now know what exists over here, which I didn't know 8 months ago. Now what you guys might be thinking is this water is just called glass ocean, which is when the water is so calm that it looks as if it is made out of a type of oil.
Glassy.
And technically that is true. That can happen sometimes, but there's also another reason for why the water might be this calm. Now this intel comes from people that I've spoken to who have been beyond the ice wall. They have told me that the farther away you get from civilization and closer to the great beyond, that there are a lot more deep sea gigantic creatures. Here we got the Leviathan's Gate. There are these creatures that guard all of these openings out to the new area. And because they are so massive, that the resonant frequency of the animal makes the water so calm and still. And that's why it appears just like that.
Oh, so it's calm because there's a gigantic, terrifying, scary, biblical creature under the surface? Is that what he's saying? I might add that you'd also have to believe the earth was flat to buy into my man's theory as well. So there's that.
This is the Man Pansy. Now this was released on the dark web a while ago. And it was produced in Japan. It couldn't be made in the United States because it was against the law.
Duh.
So the scientists went to Japan where they could do this, and it is actually a hybrid human ape. I know it looks like something that would be on Planet of the Apes, but this is real. I believe the name was Steven that they gave it. Now nobody knows the whereabouts of Steven, the hybrid, or if he's still alive. But this was put out quite some time ago, and there's been scuttlebutt in the science community for years.
No worries, guys. This is just Steven, the man-pansy hybrid, half human, half chimp. Nothing abnormal or creepy here, guys, right?
Do not go in my house.
Why?
Because that's private property. You can't just enter someone's house.
HOA policy states any member of the board or anybody that looks over the neighborhood like me is allowed to go in the house to check on things, to make sure that things are running okay, and blah, blah, blah. So
I'm pretty sure that's not legal, and that's not going to hold up in court. So you will not go in my house.
Did you change these locks?
Nope.
Why is this key not working then?
I don't know. Maybe they gave you a bad key.
No, this is the same key that I used last time and it's not working. Did you change them?
Nope.
You have to, if you change locks, it can't be through you. It has to be through the HOA. The HOA has to change the locks.
Oh,
and it seems
does
like
the HOA pay my mortgage? Did the HOA buy this house? No, they didn't. This is my private property.
You changed the locks on this.
I own this house. I pay the taxes on this house. I pay the mortgage on this house. You have no right to go in my house. No right.
I'm just going to ask you one more time, and I will involve the lawyers. Did you change the locks on this house?
I would love to see this little fella show up at my front door and tell my wife that he's basically going to be breaking in when no one's home. He would very soon regret that decision, let me tell you.
So I'm in the mall. This place, so coming to the mall makes me realize we're living in a simulation. Like, this can't be real. Like, you're telling me this place right here that has 2 people working in there, they're selling enough hats. They're selling enough hats just to pay 2 employees. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's not real. Also, like some of these stores, like, okay, like maybe, right? Like women's lingerie, underwear, whatever. The Buckle, I don't know. Do people still shop in there? I don't even know. Okay, like You're telling me this place, icing, sells enough $2 earrings to pay the rent? No way. And then this place, what is it even? What do they do? They're selling nail polish and candles. That's not. No, there's no way. Or phone cases? No, nope, not happening. This place, okay. They're selling Dreamcatcher earrings and rocks. No, never met anybody that bought one of those from the mall. It's all fake. It's all fake. All of it.
I think my man might be on to something. Think about it. How in the world do some of these stores even pay their leases, let alone generate income on top of that?
This is a genuine shrunken head crafted by the Javaro people of Ecuador. Traditionally, they would claim the heads of fallen enemies and shrink them down to the size of a fist as a war trophy. Believe it or not, Robert Ripley brought back his first shrunken head from Lima, Peru in 1923, kickstarting his collection of strange and unusual objects from around the world.
The only thing I could think about when watching this clip is the part in Beetlejuice where the witch doctor shrinks his head when Beetlejuice steals his ticket.
People think I'm talking about aliens like the aliens they see in the movies on TV. No, my friends. That's conditioning. You've been conditioned to be afraid of the unknown. What they don't want you to know is that these scary aliens, they look just like you and I. Not all of them, but the majority of them. So much so that you can sit next to them in the movie theater, you can meet them at the beach or a playground, and you will never know that you weren't talking to a human being or somebody born on this planet. And that's a fact. And that what I just said is almost a direct quote, word by word, by who? A former NATO military officer with high-level clearance. These people are here. They've always been here. We've never been alone. And the illusion that's painted by Hollywood on TV of these people that are coming and they look like they're monsters and they're gonna eat you, that's conditioning. The true reality is they look just like us and we look just like them.
I know everybody out there has all had that one friend or teacher or boss that just always seemed a bit off. I know you know what I'm talking about, guys.
They found an ocean underneath the Earth's crust. And upon finding this ocean, we have discovered that there's not only liquid, gas, and solids, there is a fourth state. It's water that's basically like a sponge. This new ocean is the largest ocean on the planet. We also discovered that there's a supermassive black hole pointed directly at the Earth. It's also spitting energy at us. In other news, there's also a giant hole in the sun. We also found a continent on Earth that has been missing for 375 years. It's called Zealandia, and yes, there are people there. A man tried to board a plane in Miami with a small bag of snakes in his pants. So there were quite literally almost snakes on a plane. There was an escaped zebra roaming Seattle for the past few days. Meanwhile, this thing washed up onto a California coast. It's called a football fish. And by the way, it only lives to reproduce, and it hooks those teeth into female football fish to do the deed. You're welcome.
As an avid surfer, I have personally never seen one of these football fish. But let me tell you this, if I ever do, I guarantee you that I'll be paddling faster than if I had seen a great white.
Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
Yo, my man is a legend and should go down in Wheel of Fortune history. Okay. Did you guys catch his look? It was priceless. It said it all. He had the old constipated owl look.
Can someone please explain to me why they gotta be going around changing history? Because I can't take it anymore. This new Mandela effect's got me all upset. I don't know what to say. I don't know if it happened when they fired up that Super Hadron Collider again during the eclipse. I don't know when it happened, but here's what's going on. Remember when Betsy Ross created the American flag that we know today? Well, no, you don't, because apparently in the reality that we're currently living in, Betsy Ross didn't even invent the American flag. Or I shouldn't say invent, but like, you know, design, create. So she had actually like zero part of anything to do with the American flag. You want to know who actually is responsible for the American flag? Francis Hopkinson. Oh, you don't know who Francis Hopkinson is? Well, neither did I. Apparently in this current reality, this current dimension that we've all jumped into, he was a founding father, but yeah, I don't remember him. I don't remember his name on the Declaration of Independence. I don't remember even ever hearing about him once a day in my life. But apparently he did all kinds of things. So he exists here, and Betsy Ross, sorry, you are no longer that important, I guess. I don't know. What did you do if you didn't do that? Why do I even know your name? But anyway, if you remember Betsy Ross being the creator of the American flag, then you probably jumped out of the same parallel reality that I did.
I wonder what else I was told and taught my entire life about history is also incorrect. Talk about a total mind screw. I don't think watermelon's supposed to do that.
So my mother was showing me that she opened a banana that she thinks that these are not real bananas. We got it from the supermarket, but when she opens it and she breaks it in half, it gets very tough and doesn't really break. And when it pulls, it's like it's glue. It's very tight and doughy.
That's some funky looking fruit. Guys, I don't work for the FDA and I am by no means a medical professional, but if you ever come across fruit that looks like this, do not eat it and throw it away immediately.
Y'all, things are getting weird. Weirder than this. I can't even make this up. The news itself is saying that AI is going to unalive us all, as well as take all of our jobs, which they're already doing.
AI is going to take our jobs, and then it's going to try to kill us. That's not me saying that. Top AI engineers claim the new technology is careening down a dangerous path, faster than anyone imagined. Jeffrey Hinton, aka the godfather of AI, telling humanity that our days may be numbered.
They're clearly very competent. They clearly understand a lot. They have a lot more knowledge than any person. Almost everybody I know who's an expert on AI believes that they will exceed human intelligence. It's just a question of when. I think there's a chance they'll take control, and it's a significant chance. It's not like 1%, it's much more. What I'm most concerned about is when these things can autonomously make the decision to kill people. So, robot soldiers.
Yeah.
And those are coming.
And the U.S. Department of Defense is actually endorsing using AI in global militaries. The perilous coming age of AI. Do y'all trust AI with your life? I don't. And who is probably the biggest player in artificial intelligence? Uh-oh. We already know that Elon Musk is somewhat like a defense contractor for the U.S. And in other news, check your toilet for anacondas. For some reason, they're coming up.
I hope Arnold and Sarah Connor are getting their reps in. We're gonna need them very soon, guys.
I'll be back.
If you go to London, don't even think about using your phone on the streets anymore. In recent years, there has been a massive surge in phone thefts. People will be waiting for the bus or just walking around using their phones when these guys dressed in all black will come up behind them on a bike, snatch their phone out of their hands and quickly accelerate off. And this is not like 1 or 2 cases a day. There was almost 91,000 phones stolen from Londoners in 2022, which is an average of 248 a day, or 1 stolen every 6 seconds. Oh my lord. And it's believed to only have got worse since then. Nearly 70% of all thefts in London were related to mobile phones. Only 2% of the stolen phones were actually recovered, and young people are disproportionately the targets of these crimes.
So, pro tip, do not pull your phone out while in the streets of London.
you see how the moon is rusting?
I've heard about it.
Yep. So there's this kid that took like the most high quality picture of the moon ever taken, and it was like over like 2,000 images that he combined, and you can clearly see that the moon is rusting. And then I saw this on NASA on their website, and the article said, while the moon is airless, research indicates the presence of hematite, a form of rust that normally requires oxygen and water. This has scientists puzzled. Do you know what the word hematite? Hematite is a name that is derived from the Greek word meaning blood. It says, the sun shall be turned to darkness and the moon to blood before the great and awesome day of the Lord comes. And it shall come to pass that everyone who calls in the name of the Lord shall be saved. The term hematite, it's a type of rusting that only occurs with this certain mineral, water and oxygen, but the moon is literally doing that right now, and scientists do not know why. Throughout scripture of just like moon turning to blood, and like, what does that mean? Because they have like the blood moon, right? And people are like, oh, that's going to happen on this day. So like the Bible ultimately translated into Greek at one point, right? And the Greek word for blood is hematite, the same word that they use for this rust. And so it's like the moon is literally has hematite on it. That's weird. It's all gonna end soon, so you better.
End times is coming, my friends.
So is the moon rusting or is it bleeding? And this matters to us. Why? Yo, that organ player did them dirty. He didn't have to take it there, did he?
This woman claims she has not eaten or drunk anything in 16 years. Due to her strange fast, 26-year-old Mulawerk Amba also doesn't need to urinate or defecate. The mother of one says her unusual condition is the work of God. According to Guinness World Records, the longest time someone has lasted without either food or water is 18 days. However, alleged medical tests noted her in perfect health.
So the current standing record is 18 days, yet this woman somehow surprisingly miraculously made it 16 years, which by the way works out to be 5,840 days, guys. A 350x the current record. Sure, we believe her.
Woman was just discovered living inside the sign of this Michigan grocery store. She was actually living in there for over a year, and the only reason she got caught was because contractors were curious about an extension cord that was on the roof. So this little sign above the store is where she was living. She'd been living there for almost a year with nobody noticing. The extension cord that was found was used to give this woman electricity because up there she had a whole computer, a printer, and a coffee maker. One thing that's unclear is how she was getting in and out of the store because there were no signs of a ladder up there and no one ever saw her going in or out or on the roof. Luckily, when she got caught, the management of the store and the whole store team was super supportive and understanding of her because obviously we're in a housing crisis. And they actually gave her a bunch of resources to help her get back on her feet and find a place to live, which I feel like was a really good way to handle this situation.
Look, good for her, guys. It sure beats these migrants who are quite literally playing finders keepers in New York City and breaking into homeowners' homes while they're away and claiming squatters' rights. So, good for her.
There are currently videos all over Twitter right now with what appears to be what they're claiming to be a meteor. They're even saying that they believe they know where it landed, but for something to be that big and that bright to land without making a sound, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying that is really, really bright. I've never seen a meteor that bright before. And wasn't that the same color as the Devil's Comet that was present during the eclipse? This is around supposedly where it fell. Look at this though, look at the lens flare. There's something round. I'm not trying to wear a tinfoil hat right now, I'm just saying there's something round and pointing like a craft of some sort. I don't know. What do y'all think? It must just be the skeptic in me, but to me this seems like something more. What do y'all think it is? Do y'all believe in meteors? Let me know in the comments.
I'll tell you what, whatever that thing was, I would not want to be on the other end of where it connected or landed.
We are all
all just one great being.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they forget. We're not separate. We're all, the universe is probably one cell inside of some super organism.
Right.
And we're just
Yeah.
little who, you know, little who's like Horton hears a who and trying to make sense of it. And
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing that we're making sense of it. But everything is just one great being. We're all God. That's what Jesus was talking about. That's what you know, Buddha was talking about. It's recognizing the divinity in you. What I did as a child, I said, I'm going to, instead of waiting for the Messiah to show up, what if everybody picked up their torture stake and behaved and did the things that they had expected the Messiah to do? What if everybody just for one day walked around and behaved as if they were God himself and did the things that they would expect the creator? And we know God can't just be a male, because no man can produce a child without a female. Everything in the universe, as above, so below, like Billy Carson always talks about. You can't, everything has an equal and opposite. It has to mate. Mating is a big part of what we do.
Yo, can anyone out there please tell me what in the world Terrence Howard is doing wasting his time as an actor? My man's a freaking genius, y'all. He should be working at like CERN or NASA, somewhere intelligent. Crazy.
This creepy video comes from Ali Che. I'll tag her below. And while in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains, their car breaks down at night and they decide to get out of it. And it does not go well. And many commenters were divided on whether this was real or not, based on their demeanor with the activity around them, while others said that they were just following the rules of the Appalachian Mountains. Regardless, it's still creepy. Here's part of that video, but you can see the full thing over on her page. But let me know, what would you do in this situation?
Yeah.
What now?
I guess we'll have to walk to the store.
Hey.
What do we do?
What was that?
I don't know. Did you hear that?
Yeah, we better get back in the car.
Yeah, we better.
Oh no, it's locked. This is scary. Oh my god. Okay. Did it lock?
No.
What's the deal with this car? I don't understand.
You'll have to unlock it for me.
Something weird has happened with this car.
What's going on?
I don't know. Let's see if it starts. It started.
Waiting for connection. Bluetooth connection success.
What was that?
Ashley, I do not like this.
Oh my god.
Go.
Let's get out of here. Go. Does it run? Is it working?
Go.
Yes, it is. It's working.
Yo, these girls are gangsters, all right? You wouldn't catch me in the Appalachian Mountains at night or daytime, guys. I seen Hills Have Eyes and Wrong Turn. I know what goes on out in those boondocks, y'all.
We found signs of life on another planet. It's 50 million light years away, but there could be humans there, just like me and you. Or maybe something worse. I don't know how you get worse than humans, though. Pythons in Florida keep eating alligators. Researchers have found that mosquitoes seek out people infected with certain viruses. Researchers also think that Stonehenge may have been a solar calendar. A 4-year-old girl discovered a 220 million year old dinosaur footprint in Wales. The recent auroras have been the most powerful in the last 500 years. Scientists were also able to create diamonds in just 15 minutes in a new process. Warm ocean water is rushing underneath Antarctica's Doomsday Glacier, making collapse much more likely. Historic solar flares continue with the sun shooting out its biggest solar flare in 2 decades. There is a giant gas planet out there that's as big as Jupiter and as fluffy as cotton candy. And a U.S. museum curator was caught smuggling spiders, but he says he has a permit.
My heart goes out to all the jewelers who spent literally hundreds and thousands of dollars on machines to make lab-grown diamonds that take 9 to 12 weeks. When now there's a new process that does it in literally under 15 minutes and renders all of those expensive machines obsolete. Crazy.
The CIA is trending alongside the death of the Iranian president, so here's what actually happened. Iran's president was in Azerbaijan to inaugurate a dam. When it was time to head back, there were reports of a big storm, but instead of delaying the flight or getting a jet to fly over it, they take 3 45-year-old helicopters that they bought from the US back when they were allies through the storm. And keep in mind, it can be extremely dangerous to fly a helicopter in 30 or 40 mile per hour winds, but reports say that the one that they flew through had winds up to double that. So why the hell they still decided to go is unknown. But on top of that, the 2 other helicopters that were part of that convoy didn't crash and they arrived safely. And that's where the speculation of the CIA and other calls for foul play stem from. But despite President Raisi admittedly having many enemies around the world, plenty of which will be happy he's dead, no officials are claiming foul play, not even Iran themselves. Their state media say it was just bad weather. And I mean, with Iran's relations with Israel at an all-time low, even the slightest sign of Israeli involvement, suspected or real, would likely escalate things like we've never seen before. But still, there is no official calls for foul play. The bodies have been collected, Raisi's funeral will be held tomorrow. Putin and Xi Jinping are mourning the loss of a true and good friend, but it's important to remember that he wasn't actually the most powerful person in the country. They still have their supreme leader, who ultimately is the actual authority in Iran. But of course, if we get any new information that changes any of this, I'll keep you guys updated.
Yo, I don't know what my man's talking about. The CIA? Shady? Nah, never. If y'all made it this far in the video, huge thank you goes out to y'all. Please leave a comment, let us know what you thought, and we'll catch y'all next week. Peace.